Radical.
It is January 8th, 2024, and back to back, within a 24-hour period, I have my second huge surprise of the year concerning YouTube. The first was that Jirard would come back to YouTube so soon. The second is I found parts of a upload from Pat the Nest Punk rather enjoyable. I'll even go as far as to say that it's a damn good parody in parts. I haven't seen all of it. I've kind of skimmed. I don't have the 20 or so minutes right now to check it all out, but I found myself laughing at the Pat the Nest Punk upload. I don't know if that's ever happened before. The guy has some chops. I'll say that. Especially the part where he puts his picture into the Discord call there. I mean, I gotta give the guy some credit. I gotta give this e-beggar some credit, right? I mean, he is technically an e-beggar. He takes donations. He has a super thanks enabled. I even had an upload years back called Pat Patreon the Nest Punk. Is that what it's called? Patreon the Nest Punk? That was one of my first critical satires, talking about these gaming YouTubers. Still holds up today. It's on the other channel. But I gotta give this guy his props. This is some good critical satire. Specifically from a person that really doesn't do it a whole lot. I mean, I haven't seen the whole thing. I'd probably find things about it I don't like, but I think it's a good thing that he has this on YouTube. Here's why. Jirard is back. The completionist is back. And I guess Jirard banks on history that has shown us, regardless of who you are, even if you're Logan Paul, you can come back and still have a career on YouTube. I don't think there's any way that we are going to be able to shame that person into leaving YouTube. Probably should leave YouTube. Or at least take a long hiatus to think about the shit that they did, but I don't think it's going to happen. So I think it's a waste of time to think that Jirard is actually going to no longer be on his channel. But uploads like this, ultimately, good thing. I'll tell you why. Pat has seen somebody that is big in the gaming community, specifically the retro gaming community, big time game collector. So when you have someone like him making critical satire on Jirard, ultimately that kind of keeps things going. That keeps the criticism of Jirard going. So after the initial fact, there's only really so much that can be done outside of maybe parodies, unless there's anything new that comes out or new statements from Jirard. So in a way, things like this keep it alive. And I know Pat probably has his own reasons for uploading something like this. You might be pessimistic to say, well, ironically, maybe he wants to upload this to get a lot of super thanks donations. But they're going to him. They're not going to any charity. So it's very different. Again, did I mention that I classify Pat as an e-beggar? But I'll also say I classify almost everybody on YouTube right now as e-beggars, because they're all taking donations for just uploading YouTube content. That's all they're doing. They're not, I mean, I've talked about that in length before, but it is a new year. So in a new year, I will continue to be open-minded, and I'll be fair to anyone and everyone, even people like Pat the Nest Punk that, like I said, years back, I heavily criticized. But just because you criticize somebody or you don't agree with them all the way doesn't mean you don't get to give them props when they do something good or they make something funny. Big shocker of the year here is, I mean, if I probably listened to the whole thing, watched the whole thing, I would probably be entertained at certain other spots. but I could find things to criticize about it. I definitely could. One thing right away is I feel that this upload, even though, like I said, it's funny in parts, it goes out of its way to make fun of a lot of the people that are covering or did cover the Jirard situation, which is a little messed up. I mean, everything's fair game. Everyone is fair game. But still, though, I mean, you could do it, but I don't know. Like, I would prefer it to stay on point in criticizing Jirard and not the people criticizing Jirard. But that's just me. Some of you may or may not agree. I wish I had time to check out the whole thing, but I do not. Very busy day. Also, you see that this one supposedly has 102 dislikes. Supposedly. Because I installed that YouTube dislike extension. I have more to say about that extension coming up later today.